Hi everyone, my name's Sarah and this is my channel, So Sarah Sewed. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing my most recent makes and my latest plans. If you're new to my channel, my name is Sarah and I live in Melbourne, Australia, and I'm a mum and a music teacher and I love to sew and knit in my spare time. In today's video, I've got quite a bit to show you of the things I've been working on recently, and I'll also share what I'm planning to do in the coming week. So let's get into it. I've got a pile next to me of the things I've been working on recently, and I'm just going to start from the top and see where it takes us. So my Christmas gift sewing has begun recently, and I've been making a whole lot of these fabric key fobs. I bought the hardware for these about 1.5 years ago because I decided I'd like to make some for the Mother's Day stall at my children's school. And I had quite a few left over. So first of all, I bought a set, just a small set of these little key fob hardware, but I really enjoyed making them, so I ended up buying another large set. So here they are, the key fobs I've been making recently. I use scraps that I have left over from other projects, usually in thicker cotton or canvas. And yeah, I had quite a bit of this rifle paper canvas that I got from a fat quarter set a number of years ago that I wasn't going to be using for anything else. So I made lots of them in that. I quite like this one. That's also a rifle paper canvas, a bit bold and different. And I've also used some quilting cotton, which has worked really nicely as well. So they are the first thing I've been making. Now there are a lot of tutorials on YouTube that show you how to do these fabric key fobs. A lot of it comes down to kind of trial and error with exactly the right width that you like your fabric and the right length that you like them. So they do work really nicely to be worn around the wrist or just to put your keys on and be able to grab them easily from your bag. But I did make a little short video of exactly how I make mine if you're interested in looking at that. But yeah, they're a great project to batch sew and really, really great if you've got scraps hanging around, but they are what I've been doing recently. The next Christmas sewing I've been doing was my advent calendar. And I think the last time I did a catch up on this, I was almost finished with sewing the windows on. So this is a fabric panel. It's by Macawa UK, and I bought it from Fabric Pixie here in Australia. And yeah, it's this festive looking house. And all these windows have little pockets that you can put a little treat in each day as you lead up to Christmas. So I had nearly finished that last time, and now I have finished it. So the last time I was talking to you, I was thinking about how I was going to finish it and whether I'd need binding and things like that. Now I ended up watching the sew along tutorial put out by Macawa UK on YouTube, and that took me exactly through the steps I needed to finish. So the most important thing was putting something on the back so that I can actually hang the calendar. So I've got this little sleeve here at the back, and I'm going to go to Bunnings and get them to cut me a piece of dowel that will be long enough to go through there, and then get 2 little eyelet screws that I can then put some wire or some string on so that I can hang it on the wall. And I'm going to have that ready for next weekend. So I'm not going to call it finished until I've actually gone and got those last bits of hardware to be able to hang it, because that is the last thing I need to do. Yeah, but until I can hang it, I don't feel like it's quite ready. But I've done all the sewing steps on that and I love it. And my children were really excited when they saw it. They think it's beautiful and they're excited for me to put some little treats in there. I'll talk a little bit more about what I'm planning to put in each of the windows when I'm talking about my plans later on in this video. I also got into some garment sewing recently, and I decided to make another Lyra shirt dress. This is a Tilly and the Buttons pattern, and I made another one in September and absolutely love it. So I decided to make another. Now I bought some cotton lycra fabric from Darn Cheap Fabrics a few months ago. I saw it on their Instagram, and in my head, I thought that it was a knit fabric. Just something in my head said, oh, cotton lycra, that's going to be a knit. It's actually a woven, so it wasn't going to be usable for what I was originally intending it for. But I hoped that the stretch in it wouldn't be too much that it wouldn't work for a dress pattern. And I think it works out pretty well. It's not exactly finished yet. The only thing left to do is to add buttons onto this front placket. I've done the buttonholes So it really is just some hand sewing the buttons on. So I'm planning to finish that tonight. I was a little bit limited by my amount of fabric for this one. So for this one, it's a little bit above the knee, a little bit shorter than I'm used to wearing. And I think that I'll probably end up wearing this more layered over leggings because of the length of it, but also because of the weight of it. It's a little bit thicker. So I think it sort of lends itself more to a cooler day than to really hot weather, this one. I think the colors in there as well with that dark background will mean it's very, very versatile as a layering piece with tights and boots and cardigans and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that one of the cooler days this week, I'll get to wear that and I'll get some photos of that and include that in my November Makes video that's coming up. The Lyra Dress pattern has some options. It's got long sleeves or short. In this one, I have done the short sleeves. And then it's got some different skirt options. So you can have a tiered skirt or just one straight skirt. I've gone with the one straight, just above the knee skirt for this one. Now, I did also think that I'd like to raise the waistline a little bit. I accidentally miscalculated though, and I raised it more than I intended to. So it does have quite a high waistline, which is the other reason I think that I'd probably feel more comfortable with layering it. The stiffness of the fabric also means that it kind of balloons out a little bit. So hopefully I enjoy wearing it. It's quite a different feeling to my first one. My first one I made in a tencel twill, and it's very relaxed, very drapey and flowy. And this one's definitely more structured, but I love the fabric and I think it'll be a fun wear. I'll try and put in a picture of it on a hanger so you can kind of get the whole idea of the entire dress before I've done the buttons. I've made a start on one more Tilly and the Buttons patterns. This is the Nell Blouse and it's a recent pattern by Tilly. This pattern has lots of variations. You can make it as a straight blouse, as a peplum blouse, as a dress. You can have straight sleeves, flutter sleeves, or bubble sleeves. And in this particular version, I've decided to go with the straight blouse, with the bubble sleeves and the tie up option. So you can have normal buttons or faux ties. They're actually not functional, but they're very cute. So I'll show you the fabric that I've chosen for this one. Spotlight recently had an offer where if you spent $120, you could use a $40 voucher. And then a lot of the fabric was also on sale at the same time. And I had a couple of things on my list. So this is one of the fabrics I picked up when I went and used that offer. It is a cotton and it said it was a vegetable ink dyed cotton, I think from India. And it's a really pretty fabric, really, really pretty design. And it's quite lightweight. So I thought that a very feminine, pretty kind of blouse would work well with this pattern design. When I bought this fabric, I didn't really have in mind what I was going to make with it. So I bought 2 meters, and the Nell blouse with that bubble sleeve does require a little more fabric than I had. So I'm working around that. I almost had enough. The only thing I didn't have enough for was the lining of the bubble sleeves. So I'm going to use just a cream colored quilting cotton that I've got for that. I realize that that's a bit heavier weight, but hopefully because it's really just supposed to give more volume to the sleeves, then that will work anyway. And the other thing I had to do was cut the sleeves on the cross grain instead of the straight grain. But I think with this kind of design, it will be fine. So far I have sewn the shoulder seams and I've just added the facing. Now I wanted to thank the people who commented last time on my video. I made the Nell dress a couple of months ago and the facing, you end up being able to see the overlocked edge on the inside. I don't have an overlocker though, so mine had a zigzag edge and I just didn't really think it looked very neat. And there were people who gave me the idea or the suggestion to sew my interfacing down and then flip it onto the facing to get a really nice edge. So I've tried that this time. I think I did it right. And so that seems to be working really nicely. And then my next job will be to understitch that, fold it under, and then have a really nice, neat facing that's got a neat edge on the inside as well, which will give me a lot of satisfaction. So hopefully I'll do a little bit more of that tonight. because yeah, it's a really pretty fabric and I'm looking forward to wearing it. So that leads us into what I'm planning to be working on this week. So I'll continue that Nell blouse and I'll hopefully finish that. And then I have so many other ideas and so much of other fabric that I would love to be sewing up. But I've decided on my priorities. So the first one, now one of the other reasons I went to Spotlight last week was to pick up some fabric to make matching pajamas that my children and I can wear as we lead up to Christmas. So they're pretty much in need of pajamas anyway, as am I. So I thought, what perfect time to make some fun pajamas for everyone in the family. Originally, I had shown my children some really cute bluey Christmas fabric, thinking that they would be excited by that. Unfortunately, my 10-year-old was appalled. His reaction was not positive. So I didn't buy that. I haven't shown them what I did end up buying because it's bought now and I don't want to hear any negative reactions. So hopefully once I've made the pajamas, everyone will be happy. So I've decided to go with a woven cotton. They only had, at the Spotlight I went to, they had one cotton sateen in the Christmas section. Everything else was like a cotton poplin, a little bit stiffer. But I found this lovely cotton sateen. And I'm hoping that it's sort of gender neutral enough that everyone in the family will like it. It's not too juvenile to put off the 10-year-old. It's just a simple blue background with Merry Christmas written in multicolors all over it. I've got plenty of this. I'm sure it'll make enough Christmas shorts for everybody. And then also I'm hoping to make a matching top, button down top for me. I might use the Gilbert shirt pattern for that. I'm not sure, but something simple that I can have the whole set. For the boys, I'm just going to make them plain t-shirts. They generally just sleep in shorts anyway, especially as the weather gets hotter. So they'll probably mainly just wear the shorts. But then I chose a rayon elastane jersey that would go well with it. So I'm planning to make just some t-shirts in that color as well. Again, I've got a lot of it. So hopefully I'll get a t-shirt out of that for both of the children and maybe a t-shirt for me, or if not, maybe just like a little tank top that I can wear with the pajama shorts as well. So the patterns I'm planning to use for those are free patterns. The first one for the shorts, it's by Patterns for Pirates. And I cannot remember the name of the shorts, but it's their free pajama shorts pattern, and I'll put the name of it on the screen, and everything I'm talking about in the video I'll also link in the description box, which I always do. And so whatever the free pattern is for pajama shorts, they've got it for kids and they've got it for adults. So I'm going to make those. And then for the t-shirts, for the children, I'll make the Anything But Basic Tee, which is a free pattern by Copper Creek Patterns or Do It Better Yourself Club. I'm not sure. I think it's got two different names, but that one I'm going to use for the children. And then I'll probably use the Jackson tee for myself if I've got enough fabric to make a t-shirt for me, or maybe the Lunar Tank, which is a free pattern by Helen's Closet. If there's not so much left to make sleeves, I could just make a swingy little tank top for mine. I realized when I got home that this color, though, it's basically exactly the same color as the children's school t-shirts. Hopefully they don't mind that. I think it's a really nice color anyway. I bought one more fabric from Spotlight last week, and that is because I was completely tempted by the latest pattern that's been brought out by Peppermint magazine. Now, I was so tempted, in fact, that I ended up buying my very first copy of the print version of the magazine. And I'm looking forward to reading it. I haven't had a chance yet, but in this copy of the magazine, you got a printed copy of the Pasadena Rara skirt. Also, when you have the printed copy of the magazine, there's a code that you can download the PDF version as well as the instructions. So I love this design. I think it's really, really sweet. It's been something I've been looking for a while. And so when this came out, I jumped on the opportunity to get the pattern. Now I'm thinking this could make a really fun skirt to wear for Christmas Day, hopefully, but then also appropriate for work and other fun occasions, depending on the other things I end up wearing it with. When the pattern was released, they hadn't included on the site the fabric requirements, so I didn't know how much meterage I would need. I ended up buying 4 meters of 112 centimeter wide fabric. They have updated now the website to include the fabric requirements, and it will be enough, I was pleased to see. Plenty. And in fact, this skirt actually has sort of under panels, so you could even do those in a different fabric because they're not seen unless you were to twirl around. So you'd want a complementary fabric as those if you weren't going to be using your main fabric. So here's the fabric I chose. An emerald green background with a kind of paisley print. And I'm hoping that will work really, really nicely in this skirt pattern. I'm also hoping that I've got enough left over to be able to potentially make a matching top so that I can wear it as a set. And in this magazine, they also suggest making a little ruffle top. That's not included with the magazine if you are not a subscriber. If you're a subscriber, you get that pattern as well. If you're not, you can go onto the website and buy that in their pay what you like kind of model, which is minimum $5. So I haven't bought that at this point, and I'm still thinking about what kind of top I would like to make with this skirt, and also to see how much fabric I end up having at the end of it as well. I am thinking that I would probably like to get some different fabric for those sort of underlayers, maybe in one of these lighter green colors, just because that will mean I have more fabric left over to be able to give it that kind of faux dress kind of look if I wanted to. If you've seen my recent video for a gift to November, you will have heard me talking about some felt decorations that I was thinking about making. And these are by What a Curly Life on Instagram. This is the third year that this creator has generously put out 24 free felt ornament patterns in the lead up to Christmas. So she is releasing one a day, and they are on her website as a free download. And yeah, they're very, very sweet. I love that idea of you're not sure what each day is going to be. I've got quite a big felt collection, so I'm hoping to get started with these this week. I don't have a printer at my house, but I do have access to one at school. So tomorrow I'm planning on printing patterns 1, 2, and 3 and getting started on those. 1 and 2 have been released at the time that I'm filming this video, and they look very sweet. So by the time I'm at work tomorrow, the third one will have released as well. And that is what I'm planning to put in my little pockets of my advent calendar. So I was thinking that I would put an ornament each day in there to discover and hang on the tree, as well as a couple of little chocolates for my children as well, because I think they would riot if they didn't get to have their little chocolate from their advent calendar each day. So that's kind of essential, but my joy will come more from getting out these little ornaments, but also from the making of them. So I'm looking forward to getting into that. That will be a really nice project to do as I sit and watch what I'm sure will be very cheesy yet enjoyable Christmas movies that all get released at this time of year. There's quite a few I'm looking forward to watching actually. And the other thing I love to do while I'm watching TV or movies is knit. And I am still working on my Whitmoor cardigan. This is a pattern by Amy Loudon, and it's going slowly but surely. I'll show you where I'm up to. So I'm still working on the yoke. It's difficult to show you because it's on 4 needles. It's got the main circular needle, and then at the end of each one there is the double pointed needle as you work the button bands at the same time. But you can see there that the lace is coming along, and I am making my way through the yoke. So that's really enjoyable. I'm really enjoying working on this. I'm loving the feeling of this wool. This is a black wattle yarn, and it's a combination of baby alpaca, cashmere, and silk, I think, from memory, and it's just very luxurious and beautiful to work with. This is on my Make 9 for 2024. I definitely do not expect to finish that this year, but I'll get pretty close, I think, especially because I am heading into summer holidays soon, and we'll have a bit more time on my hands. So that's a bit of an update for you of the things I've been making recently and what I'm planning to do this week. My next video should be a roundup of everything I made in November. And then I'm actually planning this year on participating in Vlogmas. I haven't done it before. I'm feeling a little apprehensive about it. a little nervous, mainly for the being able to manage my time and get a video out each day, because that is what I'm planning to do. I'm looking forward to sharing with you what I'm wearing each day, what I'm working on each day, and the sorts of things I'm getting up to as someone living in a warm climate for Christmas, and the sorts of things that we do to celebrate and lead up. I realize that so many people put out these videos and I love watching them, and it's hard to keep up with a lot of them. So I think for me, it'll be important to also let go of worrying about how many people are watching the videos and just enjoying connecting with the people who do. So if you are able to follow along for some or all or a few of those, I'll look forward to seeing you in those as well. But I am hoping to get out one more video before Vlogmas starts, and hopefully I'll have a few more of these projects to show you in that. So thank you so much for joining me in today's video. I hope you're all well, and I'll look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye bye.